What you are buying at the store today could wind up paying for what the Jaguars call the stadium of the future tomorrow. Here's how that might happen. It starts with Jacksonville's local option half-cent sales tax.
That money is used to fund police and fire pensions. The idea is being floated around, and it is just an idea. It is to borrow from the pension funds to pay for part of the city's share of the stadium makeover. News4Jax reporter Jim Piggott has been talking with those trying to negotiate a deal about whether this could work.
The talks and the negotiations for the stadium in the future, well, that's still underway and may not be decided until the summer. But how to pay for it, well, the future stadium may mean us going back to the past. These futuristic plans for a stadium could end up costing us over $1.4 billion. The city still needs to reach a deal with the Jags on that and then decide how to pay for it. Mike Weinstein is the chief negotiator for the city and talked to us about how a sales tax we approved years ago could end up helping pay for part of the stadium. I guess in looking at this, we're talking about the stadium of the future, but we want to go back to the past as a possible way to pay for this. Would that be a correct way to look at it?
Well, we're looking at all kinds of alternatives. If the city and the Jaguars come to an agreement on a renovated stadium, then how best should the city meet its financial obligations? And we've got to look at all kinds of possibilities as to what's the best mechanism for us to meet that obligation. One of them may be the assistance and partnership with the pension funds.
It's a complicated plan, but let me take you back. In 2016, voters approved extending a half-cent sales tax to pay down the massive city pension debt. Now the pension plans will have over $5 billion in assets, some of which could be invested in order to make more money to pay off pension debt. Now, if a stadium plan is approved, the city could go to the Police and Fire Pension Board to ask for a loan of sorts to pay for part of the improvements. And this could be one way to get that money.
The analysis will continue to go on until we need the money, because what might be the best option today may not be the best option 2 years from now. So how we fund our obligation, if we have one, will still be an ongoing analysis. But the idea with the pension funds might have merit, and it might be a win-win on both sides.
By doing this, Weinstein says we might even pay off the pension debt earlier and maybe free up that half-cent sales tax. But that would be way down the line. I reached out to the Police and Fire Pensions Fund Board, and they told me they've not received a proposal from the city, saying the public should understand that investing, especially millions of dollars, is a complex matter. The plan prioritizes the retirement security of its members, leading to a careful consideration process. The president of the fire union did talk to us on camera and said it's something to consider. What do you think of that, of the city doing that?
Well, I think it's we've talked about it. It's a very interesting concept, right? And as members, we're always a little guarded to what a potential situation like that may produce. But at the same time, we're not the fund. We're not the trustees on the board. So they will have to see what the city potentially proposes and then evaluate that.
The police union is holding off on comment, but News4Jax political analyst Rick Mullaney of JU's Public Policy Institute and the former general counsel for the city says it's one possible way to go.
So it's in the early stages, but I think it's the right thing for the city to do, be looking at all possibilities and what are the risks? What are the risks for the fund? What are the risks for the city? All that is part of the due diligence that will have to be conducted.
It will also have to be something the city council will eventually decide, because the city will still be on the hook to pay back the loan, and the city would need to figure out where to get those tax dollars. Right now, the council president says he will meet with Weinstein later this week to get an update on the talks. The Jags are not commenting at this time. Jim Piggott, Channel 4, the local station.